Five Bloods was directed by Spike Lee and stars Chadwick Boseman, Delroy Lindo, Jonathan Majors, Norm Lewis, Clark Peters, and Isaiah Whitlock. This movie follows the tale of four Vietnam veterans going back to Vietnam to find the remains of their dead friend and the gold they buried. While it wasn't on my radar, when I found out there was a new Spike Lee movie coming out, I almost immediately checked it out. For decades now, Lee had one of the most consistently great filmographies of any director working. Movies like Malcolm X, Inside Man, and Do the Right Thing are some of my favorite movies ever made. And his last movie, BlacKkKlansman, was one of my favorites of 2018. So when I heard there was a new movie directed by him hitting Netflix, of course I was all kinds of excited. And this movie really delivers for the most part. While I can't quite call it perfect, the story it tells and the characters that inhabit that story are top notch. Themes about the mistreatment of black soldiers after the Vietnam War, soldiers suffering from PTSD, and how the ripple effects of a war can and will still be felt decades after the conflict has ended. Those are all themes that, under a lesser director, could have seemed muddled and overshadowed the central plot. However, Spike Lee wove those themes into the main conflict so seamlessly. While some of the editing choices of having random bits of historical facts thrown at you could be confusing and kind of dumb, everything else involving the movie's larger themes and ideas are handled so well that minor issues like that could easily be forgiven. The characters slash performances are also a major highlight here. It's established right from the first scene they're on screen together just how tight of a bond they have. Well, you could tell it had been years since they'd seen each other. You could see how strong of a friendship they had, at least at one point. And when that starts to dissolve as the movie picks up in terms of stakes, it does so in such a realistic way, with every party involved wanting the gold for different reasons, resulting in their true selves being revealed. Not only does this work on the thematic level, but the performances given here are excellent all across the board. Another thing that has to be praised about this movie is its gorgeous cinematography. Each shot captures the environment the characters are in so well, with each shot being framed in an interesting way, including the flashback scenes, which are an homage to older war movies. This is yet another home run for Spike Lee, and I'll only have one major issue with it. And even then, the issue is kinda two-faced. Because on the one hand, when the story picks up about 40 minutes into the movie, you're hooked right from there. However, towards the beginning, things can be kind of muddled. While I didn't hate the first third of the movie, a lot of the plot points are thrown at you at once and can be pretty confusing to keep track of them all. If a couple of them were cut down and this movie was slightly shorter, the story would have been incredible. Still, The Five Bloods is, like I said, another home run for Spike Lee. The themes that are addressed, the characters, the performances, the direction, most of the story, all of it is top notch filmmaking and could have only been pulled off by Spike Lee, in my opinion. While it can be kind of convoluted at times and some of the editing choices are questionable, it's still a great movie and it's going to get a very strong A minus from me. Thank you so much for listening to my review, and I will see you guys later.